everybody, my name is Lily, and today I'm going to answer the question, is the Festival of Lights worth your time? The rules are simple. I'll be rating the Festival of Lights on 5 categories, each being scored 1 through 5. The categories are enjoyment, activities, the big event, organization, and time value. I'm excited to go to this. Turns out this is something that happens every single year in Chicago. If you do not know what the Festival of Lights are, it is a fun activity to do that happens once a year in Chicago around November. The pre-show is when there's a whole bunch of different activities you can do. You can decorate cheesecake. You can see Santa. We'll get all of that later. And it ends with a ginormous parade and fireworks. I am excited to go. So with that being said, I will see you guys after the Festival of Lights. Back, and I will say this is probably going to be my most controversial video. I'm going to preface this by saying that this is the overall score of this place I had to meet in the middle of. If I was allowed to separate the parade and the pre-show stuff, there would be very different scores involved. But I know technically I make the rules. I don't want to separate them. I don't think the parade deserves its own video. I don't think it deserves its own ranking. It is meant to be a part of the Festival of Lights, and as such, I am ranking it. So please know that if I could, or if I wanted to, which I don't want to, the activity part of the Festival of Lights would get a much higher score, and the parade would get a much lower score. So let's go ahead and talk about the categories. Let's start with enjoyment. Now, on all of these, except for the big event, I have the note, ignore the parade. And that is because I took my notes after experiencing the Festival of Lights, and I really wanted to give everything a lower score. But I decided the big event is its own thing for a reason. So let's just talk about everything here except for the big event part is going to be talking about the pre-show is what I keep on calling it. It's just the actual festival part of it. And I gave it a 4. The only thing I had to dock it on was it was very crowded. And that, obviously it's going to be crowded. It's a very small space fitting a lot of people. But I still had to dock it points for that. And it is most certainly fun for being free. What you can do there is you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Well, free. It's you can buy stuff. Obviously, there's lottery tickets you can buy. There's a whole area. It was such a big corner for just buying lottery tickets, which I thought was really funny, which I did not participate in. The main things you can do is there is a fun concert going on with a whole bunch of different artists, including Cirque du Soleil, who will appear 3 times during the entire thing and play for you. There are different pop-up booths where you can learn about different organizations that are helping fund it. You can meet Santa. And of course, you can get and decorate your own free cheesecake. That was my favorite part. I love that part. I love making the cheesecake. I'm a big cheesecake person. This part was my favorite. I would go just for the free cheesecake. I ended up doing caramel with rainbow toppings as well. You also get a little piece of chocolate, which I really liked. And overall, so much fun stuff to do. The festival is really fun. I absolutely love the music that was playing the entire time, and overall, definitely a 4 on the enjoyment scale. For activities, I'm giving it a 5. Like I said previously, there is music, there is cheesecake, there is Santa, and there is gambling. It has everything you need for this to be a fantastic experience for the family. You got the music, you got Santa, and you got the gambling. And the cheesecake is the food. There's also Dunkin' I saw, which I don't know anything about that. I did not do Dunkin'. There's also plenty of other places to take pictures. There's a big Christmas tree. There's lights. There's decorations everywhere. Plenty of stuff for you to do with your family. Or by yourself. I was by myself. Now, let's talk about the parade. The parade, it got a 2. I was tempted to give it a 1, but the only reason I did not give it a 1 is because I didn't end up staying. This was a massive disappointment. What I expected, because I've never done this before, was not what I got. I expected big parade floats because, it's Chicago, it's the city, there's plenty of room. That way everybody can see it. Because, of course, this place is going to be crowded. There'll be people far back. So you want big parade floats to make sure everybody can see what's happening. And that was not it. Let's start with this. I managed to get a spot near the front, and I couldn't even see what was happening for the time I did spend there. Because every single parent in the front had their kid on their shoulders. And while I understand, you want your child to see what's happening, why are you in the front doing that? So let me tell you, I looked behind me. I did not see a single parent with kid on their shoulders. It was only the people in the front. And those are the people who should not be doing that because they created a wall to where nobody behind them could see anything. And I am sorry, and typically I do my best to give parents a freebie because I understand there are so many people out there who want to pretend like they deserve to have a kid-free world. And that is not true. You are entitled to a kid-free life, not a kid-free world. But I just simply cannot let this one slide because nobody could see behind you. 90% of the people could not see because you felt the need to both be in the front and also have your kid on your shoulders. Something you could have done near the back and still had a perfectly fine time, and you would have not blocked off almost everybody from seeing. It was absolutely ridiculous. And that's just talking about the etiquette of the people around us. Let's also talk about the actual parade. On top of the floats being too small, I only saw a couple. They were also just boring to look at in general. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess something good, especially since Disney was involved. But this was not it at all. It was overall an incredibly not enjoyable experience. It was supposed to start at 5:30, and I don't know where it started, but it did not get to us, and I was by the Magnificent Mile, I was by where the Antians is, that area. For 45 minutes is when we actually saw the first parade float. And on top of us having to wait 45 minutes just to see one parade float, it was a 10-minute wait in between each float. What is happening? What is with the organization? I have been to plenty of parades in my life. Not a single one has been like that, where you wait 10 minutes for the next one to show up. Ever heard of the Macy's Day Parade? Imagine if all of their floats were half the size, not floating in the air, and on top of that you had to wait 10 minutes to see the next one. The organization was horrible, and the etiquette was horrible. So the amount of people I saw leave early, it was most of the people. Because you couldn't see, and there was nothing to see, because it took forever. And I understand the parade route might have been really far back, and that's fine, but I should not be waiting 10 minutes in between each part of it. And I ended up leaving early because of that. I got a couple crowd shots, as you will see, and I got a couple shots of the Nutcracker, and that was it. I couldn't get anything else after that because I did not want to wait forever just to see some, fireworks, because I love fireworks, but very rarely is a fireworks show anything special. Once you've seen 10, you've seen them all. And I was already not enjoying myself, and I figured I could go home and I could eat. So I have to do that instead. I've eaten so far. I already ate today. It was bad. It was bad. It's just a 2, and the only reason I'm not giving it a 1 is because I did not go the entire time, and maybe, just maybe, there was something I missed near the end that was really cool and exciting and I should have stayed for. But I should not have to invest an hour to maybe see something kind of cool. Next up, let's talk about organization. This, once again, we were talking about just that actual pre-parade festival, and I gave it a 3. Mainly because it felt hard to know where to go, and that is because everything consisted of self-made lines. There was very little direction. There was at the very beginning of each area. In order to see Santa or to get to the Eli Cheesecake, there was a very small amount of direction led by people working there. But beyond that small little bit, it was a free-for-all. And there were so many times where I was like, am I in a line for something when I did not want to be? And I was asking myself, where is the line when I did want to be in a line? And on top of that, it was so easy to get lost, even though it's such a small space. You think for being an outdoor space that's really tiny, you'd be able to figure out how to leave? But that's just not the case. It kind of felt like being in a mosh pit. Both the parade and that felt like being in a mosh pit. And I was not a fan. So I really would have appreciated a little bit just more direction on the lines. Self-made lines don't typically end well when you have people of all ages coming in. You need to have some more direction. Finally, let's talk about the time value. Of course, this is ignoring the parade, which, because if it was not ignoring the parade, this would get a 1. But for the festival itself, it is a 4. It is worth it. It is fun for the whole family. Do not go to the parade. Everything else, it's a 4. Parade itself, it's a 1. Hell, it's a 0. It's not worth your money. It's not worth your time. There's so many better parades you could go to. In probably better weather. We had a pretty nice weather this year, but I heard that last year it was really bad weather, and I can only imagine waiting there for 45 minutes for your first float while it's freezing cold. I can only imagine how people left last year. And this year we get good weather. But if we are ignoring the very badly put together parade, then we are going to be giving it a 4 on the time value. This is a fantastic thing to do. I would even say it's a good thing to just come downtown to do, is just that little festival. Obviously afterwards you can go do other stuff, but on its own it stands really well, and that is why it is getting a 4. Finally, let's go ahead and get into the totals. The Festival of Lights got an average score of 3.6, giving it a just above average. Once again, if this includes the parade, it would be much lower. And a total score of 18 out of 25, making it the lowest rated thing I have made a video about so far, which might not be true when I actually put this out there, because when I do my recordings and when I put out the videos are very different timing, because I do a lot of backup. So at the time of doing this video, I have a whole bunch of other videos in the works. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be coming out pretty early, I think, just based off the timing. But I'm pretty sure with everything I have going, this is probably going to be the lowest rated item for a while, but it's still saying something that the lowest rated item on here is an 18. If the lowest rated item on my scoreboard is an 18, you know that you're still in pretty good hands. So, is the Festival of Lights worth your time? Yes, if you only go to the festival. If you guys enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, do not forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!